And it's just basketball. It's just basketball.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day too. Fanboys, LeBron James fanboys, LeBron James fanboys. LeBron James fanboys, you are ridiculous, and so is your king. Your king is ridiculous, and so are you. So Mind the Game podcast is back with another episode, people. It came across my timeline, and I skimmed through some of the topics, and one of the topics that him and Platinum CFL member Steve Nash discussed was why players are not playing one-on-one anymore. Why players seem to stop playing one-on-one after practice. And I thought this was a very interesting topic, considering that LeBron James said that one-on-one isn't real basketball, people. So, without further ado, we're gonna check out this clip. It's about 3 minutes, people. We're gonna check out this clip, and we will be right back.
It feels like there was a lot more one-on-one 15, 20, 25 years ago after practice. Do you think that's a fair statement?
No, that's a very fair statement.
Do you think that's because the social media era? Like these kids, they come in the league, like almost everything they do has been put on camera. Do you think like that's a part of it? Was it in our day, you could go play one-on-one, you could get your head kicked in every day all year, and no one's ever going to know about it?
No one's ever going to see it, because, I mean, now you got to think that as soon as practice is over, especially in our league, that the door's open and now the media's in there. And every media person has a camera. They all have phones that can record. It leaves it to the interpretation and to the narrative of, obviously people that, some of them, they really don't matter what they say, but a lot of the young guys, they play video games and then they read columns and they read comments, unfortunately, so, they don't want to feel embarrassed or someone says something about them, and the more stuff that you read that's negative, the more it creeps into your mind, and you don't know what it could do to a young player. So, it's a lot less of that. It's just more like individual shooting now, getting shots up after practice, what coaches or whatever the case may be. Not much one-on-one, activity going on.
Yeah, it's a good point about the camera phone, because I think like back in the day, we'd still have media come down to practice, and there'd be like 2, 3, 4 cameramen, you know what I mean? And they might get a clip of one-on-one, but they're not out there like, let me get this. Whereas someone with a phone, like zooming in, getting this game, and can turn that narrative into anything they want.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, social media has a lot of good, it has a lot of bad, and that's one thing I hate for our young players. Like that they have to avoid competition sometimes because they're not sure like who's filming. And anyways, I just wish our kids could because what a tool like to get beat every day by somebody and try to chase them down over the course of the season.
For sure.
Like I come in the league, you play a vet, and it's like, maybe I play a vet who's 6'8", and he's a starter, and you're a young guy trying to apply your trade, and he can bully you, but you have to figure stuff out, right? And like having that journey with that guy over the course of a year or more is super valuable to like, your indoctrination into this game. And so kind of a bummer for me that that's not so much a part of the culture because of technology.
Yeah, for sure. And I got an opportunity last summer being on an Olympic team to watch a lot of our guys play ones. I'll watch KD and Book and Ant, play ones. And, there's one practice where literally Steph just went out there and just played all defense. He was guarding KD, who hates to say he's 7 foot tall, but sorry, KD, you are a footer. and Steph was just out there just guarding the whole time. It didn't matter who it was. He didn't want to play offense. He just was guarding. I thought that was just super cool to witness that. And the greatest players in the world. That was super cool. And it was cameras in there, obviously, and nobody felt the way.
Yeah, right.
Nobody felt the way.
That's cool. Right.
So there you have it, people. When you don't stand on anything, when you are constantly saying whatever you have to say in the moment to make yourself look as good as possible, you will end up contradicting yourself a lot. You will have to, because again, you don't really stand on anything. You're simply saying whatever you have to say in the moment to try to make yourself look as good as possible. And this is what LeBron James does. Now, again, LeBron James is on record saying that one-on-one isn't real basketball. We know that he says this because LeBron James isn't good at one-on-one. So because he said that, the correct response in this the correct response in this back and forth with Steve Nash is when Steve Nash asked, "Hey, LeBron, I'm wondering why these younger players aren't playing more one-on-one." Well, one would think LeBron would have said, one-on-one in real basketball. So, that's probably part of the reason is their focus more on real basketball, which is team basketball. One-on-one isn't real basketball. You would have think he would have stuck along the lines of what he has said about one-on-one. But of course, when you tell so many lies and fabrications and you're just going along with the flow, then you end up again contradicting yourself. So they talked about the social media aspect, and that because cameras exist, that players are afraid to play one-on-one. They don't want to get it captured on camera. LeBron James goes on to say how he believes this affects the young players. But again, this is LeBron James covering for himself, because LeBron James, we know that it affects you. The social media thing affects you, LeBron James. We know this because this whole Mind the Game podcast, which supposedly the purpose of it was to educate the fans on the game, was to educate the fans on the X's and O's of the game. The real purpose of this podcast is to combat all of the narratives that people say about LeBron James. Or I should say all of the truths that people say about LeBron James. It has been used to combat the fact that 2011 was a failure. It has been used to combat the fact that people say LeBron has no bag. It has been used to combat the fact that people say that the Disney Bubble Championship isn't a real ring. And it's just been used to combat anything that someone has said about LeBron James. So LeBron James says it's the young players who can't take it. No, LeBron James, it is you who can't take what people say on social media. Now, Steve Nash goes on to say that it's a shame that the cameras have made these players afraid to compete. Steve Nash, no, you are sitting across from the person who has ruined competition in the NBA. You are sitting across, or in this case, I guess you were on a Zoom call or whatever means you guys were using to communicate, but you are talking to the person who ruined the game, who ruined the competition in the NBA, who made it okay to not compete, who made it okay to not follow in the footsteps of the stars of previous generations, who made it okay not to participate in the slam dunk contest, who made it okay not to compete in the All-Star game, who made it okay to form super teams. All of these things show a lack of competitive spirit, and all of these things can be attributed to LeBron James. LeBron James is responsible for ruining what the competitive spirit used to be in the NBA. And last but not least, I'm actually going to play this part again, people, because this part is very interesting. This part, I feel like LeBron James inadvertently tells on himself. So let me play this part again, and we will be right back.
Of technology.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I got an opportunity last summer being on an Olympic team to watch a lot of our guys play ones. You know, I watched KD and Book and Ant, you know, play ones. And, you know, there's one practice where literally Steph just went out there and just played all defense. You know, he was guarding KD, who hates to say he's 7 foot tall, but sorry, KD, you are a footer. and Steph was just out there just guarding the whole time. It didn't matter who it was. He didn't want to play offense. He just was guarding. I thought that was just super cool to witness that. And you know, the greatest players in the world. That was super cool. And it was cameras in there, obviously, you know, and nobody felt the way.
Yeah, right.
Nobody felt the way.
That's cool. Right.
Way to tell on yourself, LeBron James. LeBron James said during the Olympic team, he got a chance to watch Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant play one-on-one. And the key word LeBron James said was watch. I guarantee if someone is playing one-on-one on an Olympic team with Michael Jordan is participating in those one-on-one games. I guarantee if someone is playing one-on-one with Kobe Bryant on the Olympic team, where Kobe Bryant is a part of the Olympic team, and players are playing one-on-one, Kobe Bryant is participating in these one-on-one games. Why? Because they are the ultimate competitor. But LeBron James said he got a chance to watch the duck, the deer, the leader of the 4 and 6 kingdom. But in this case, I think we're going to be leaning more and more towards the duck because LeBron James does indeed duck the smoke. I don't even know what to say about this, people. This is still just such a it's odd times we're living in where people can listen to this and accept this, where people can listen to this and not dissect it and say, hey, wait, hold up a minute now. You are being put into conversations that you don't deserve. People are trying to say that you are in the GOAT conversation. You know, you yourself said you are the GOAT multiple times. You promote yourself as the king. You had this stupid commercial out lately, the Forever King. You do all these things to talk about your greatness, but it sure seems like you ducked the smoke a whole lot. You were watching them play one-on-one, but you weren't participating in the one-on-ones. LeBron James, Mr. Ultimate Competitor, Mr. Well, you had to cut my head off, bury me 6 feet deep, because that's just my confidence. As long as I'm out on court, we got a chance.
Until you stump me out, cut my head off, bury me 12 feet under, then I got a chance. So that's my confidence.
Okay. We gonna hold up here, people. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you think about the conversation between Steve Nash and the Duck about why players aren't playing more one-on-one. Is it for all the reasons they said, or could it be that the Duck, the deer himself, is a big part of the problem? It told the young players that one-on-one isn't real basketball. Showed the young players that it's okay not to compete. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.